Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We have now got part 8 of the Disney Dolls house. Now we're taking a slightly weird detour in this one because we've been very Build Mickey's Room up to this point. Build Mickey's Room gets something pretty. That's normally how it works. In this one, we're building a piano. Now the piano is it's one of the biggest pieces of furniture in the house. So it is an individual build. It is massive. I mean, because there isn't a lot going on in the Aristocats room. So this piano is fairly iconic. I mean, it is as the one in the Aristocats. It is the gorgeous pink piano. And the Aristocats music room has a lot of musical instruments in it. I mean, music's a massive part of it. Now, I'm sure that Aristocats music room is no one's favourite room, which is kind of, I've seen said a lot. Everyone says what their favourite room is. I've never once seen anyone say the Aristocats room is their favourite. I can tell you, the Aristocats room is actually quite gorgeous. I've seen, again, a finished version of it, and the amount of gold and the trim that they do on the wall is bloody impressive, and it looks really nice. So it's one of those ones that might not start as your favourite, but once you start to see the elements that go in there, looks really nice. Music being a big part of the Aristocats, we're going to have a chat about music at the end of this one, because I know some of you have had problems with having videos pulled from YouTube. Because of license citations and things like that with Disney music. Now, Disney licensing is a very strange thing, and it's something that I've actually had a part in through my job. I had to deal with Disney licensing, which was an experience, put it that way. So I can tell you all about it. So we'll explain what goes on with some of your videos, why they might get pulled or something like that, and a little bit about the music, and why I can't do something I wanted to do with mine and show it to you. I can do it, I just can't show you, and I'll explain what that is at the end. But anyway, let's get into this piano and we'll have a look. If you haven't yet, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. Helps the channel massively, and it's very much appreciated. But let's build this piano and have our first very large piece of furniture for this house. Okay, so here's everything we get in this pack. Now, there is a formula that they use where it's a piece of pretty sort of decor and a piece of house. Now, you might look at this pack and think, well, they've kind of moved away from that. They haven't, because you do get a piece of house. So inside this one, I'll show you what this is. We get the first wall paneling for Mickey's room. Now, as far as I'm aware, we're doing nothing with this in this issue, so we'll put that to the side for now. We are just going to be working on the piano pieces. Now, I've seen people have, there you go, there's some more of that wall. I've seen people have some fun and games with this with this piano. Bits missing, bits already attached, and one of them is this back panel. Mine's already on. Now there is a part in the instructions that asks you to attach this panel, so a lot of you are going to go looking for a panel that's already there. So just be aware of that sometimes the instructions, they might have changed the way this thing's packaged, or you know, I don't know. But yeah, if you're looking for a back panel, you've probably already got it. So yeah, right, well, let's have a look at how we're putting this together, and we'll get into it and we'll get it done. Surprisingly, a lot of this is click to fit. We need minimal glue. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring some life to this keyboard by attaching this black piece here into the white keys. And that should give us, aha, there we go. Now, this piece, they say, slide to fit into here. That can't be it, surely. Really? No. Really? That actually surprises me that they don't advise to glue this, because that's just gonna come straight out. Right, let's take a proper look at this and we'll see if that does or doesn't need gluing. Okay, yeah, it's just me being a goon. These will slide right to the back, so it won't be loose, and it will slide under this pink piece here, but mine wouldn't. It was almost like it was folded down, so I had to persuade it a little bit, and then it will go in. So yours needs to go in like that, and it will be tight. And the next thing I'm going to do is on the 3 pins on the top, you can see maybe I have added just a dot of our power gel there to hold this in place on the actual piano, because I test fitted it and mine was incredibly loose. Now, yours might be snug. If it is, you don't need to do this. But I mean, you can. It'll just give you know, a little bit of extra support. I can't see how that's going to hold. Them saying to do it that way, it's not going to. Oh, it might. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It is loose though. I'm not really. I mean, the pins aren't touching anything, so I don't see why they'd say put glue on the pins. Let's try something else. Right, I don't agree with what they're doing, what they're saying to do. So I'm going to slightly modify this with just some dots of glue there, there, and there, and there. So that's all I've done. I'll just put some dots of glue there, and then we're going to slot it to the back. And hopefully that will hold. I don't think it will. No, it's got nothing to bite to. You know what? I'm fairly sure the sides, when they go on, will hold it in place anyway. Just give it some reinforcement. So all we're going to do is going to take these side panel A here, line up against those holes, and there you go. So that's good. It's going to hold the keyboard in place anyway. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with side panel B. So we're going to take that, and that will go in there. And you can see our piano's already coming to life. So there we go. Now, as I said, there is a part of this instructions where it's asking you to put the back panel on. You don't need to. The back panel was already on mine. I mean, I don't know if it will be for yours, but for mine it certainly was. Now we're going to place the feet. So we have the 2 feet that came with this. So there's foot number 1. And would you believe it? Okay, oh, there we are. Panicked there for a moment. Thought we didn't have a foot number 2. So foot number 1, foot number 2. So that is the way these are going to go into our piano. So we should just slide. Yep. I mean, again, you can glue this if you want to. I don't think you need to be honest with you, but it depends. If you're going to have little hands playing with this, you might want to just secure it. But I mean, again, it depends on those little hands. Not all little hands are the same. I mean, some kids are a lot more kind of rambunctious with things than others. So yeah, it just depends. And now they're saying that all we need to do is put the top upper panel, which is this piece here, onto there, and that's the piano complete. Now I'll see how sturdy that feels once this is done, and then I'm going to make a decision on what we are and aren't gluing. So that's that. Now we have some foot pedals to do. Now I find it strange that this isn't, again, this is not asking for glue. Bit weird that. But we have our pedals to go on next. Now our 3 pedals come on a sprue. Now I'd advise getting a sprue cutter for these, so it will cut it nice and clean, because you are cutting these right down, so they will slot into there. Again, depending on how snug yours are, depending on whether or not you want glue. So we're going to whip these off the sprue here and insert them into the piano. So there are our 3 pedals, and we're just going to put them into these 3 sections at the bottom here. Now I'll test fit them first. If they feel loose, I'm going to glue them. But if they're not, oh yeah, no, they're not loose. Okay. I certainly don't need to glue mine, but that won't be true of every bit. I mean, you might put these in and think that needs gluing. I don't like how loose this piano is in my hands. I can feel it kind of wobbling and flexing, and yeah, I'm not happy with that not being glued. I'm not. So I'm going to glue this. That's what I'm going to do. But this is the piano completed. I'm going to show you where I put glue on it just to hold it and make it a little bit more secure. Okay. I'm going to apply glue to these pins. Here, 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 and here. I'm going to do that on this one as well. Once that's in, I'm going to apply glue to the 3 pins on the top panel. Here, here, and here. It's just to give it some stability. I don't trust how loose this piano is. It just, I mean, you can see how easily this will just slide apart. No, I don't agree with their instructions, so I'm gluing mine. You don't have to do it. If you do it, it's up to you. But I mean, I'm doing this for my own. I don't like that feeling as flimsy as it is. We are. So I've added the Loctite, as I said I would, in the places, and now that is going nowhere. That is solid, and that is exactly what I want. So that is our piano complete. Now, that is all we've got to do in this stage. We are going to put away those parts of the wall paneling for a later issue. But really rather lovely that is too. I mean, it's a nice thing. I don't, this whole it just clips together and you're good. It's up to you if you want to do that. But I don't think this would last 5 minutes in the hands of a kid playing with it without securing it. I mean, now this is sturdy. This is going nowhere. We're going to have parts that are going to sit on top of this and And yeah, and again, I mean, it depends how you're using this. If this is just going to be displayed, well, then no, you don't need to glue it. But yeah, I don't trust that at all. Now we do have, I don't know what's this to do with this. Didn't see. We do have some sheet music, which here we go. We did come some sheet music, but it doesn't say what to do with this. I don't know if that comes along later on or not, but we do have some sheet music as well. So that's the piano complete. Let's have a chat about music and licensing on your videos. That's part 8 complete. That's our piano complete, and really rather lovely it is too. Again, I'm not delirious with the build instructions for that. I'm really not. I mean, from them advising to put the panel on the back when it's already attached, to not suggesting to use glue, that this will all just hold together. It will, in theory. I mean, it will. If you were just going to put it in there and leave it, it will hold together. But bear in mind, we're not keeping this in the house. This is being kept in a storage box. And it might rattle about and things like that until we get to that stage. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. So that's why I've Loctited that and made it solid. But I mean, it is a pretty thing. I'm looking at it now and it's making me smile. So it is a pretty thing. Now, as I said, I know some of you making videos for this and other things as well with Disney, be it diamond painting or arts and crafts or cakes or whatever. I'll suddenly have videos pulled by YouTube. The reason why you've had your videos pulled by YouTube is because you've used Disney music. And I know a lot of people do, and some people get away with it, but typically they've done something to that song to get away with it. Now, I don't know what they've done, but they might have sped it up or slowed it down or whatever, but there are ways of finding a way around an algorithm that picks them up. I wouldn't advise doing it. If it's licensed music, just don't use it. It really is that simple, or run the risk of your stuff being pulled. So why did Disney do this? Because as much as we are kind of embracing the Disney, and this is a Disney product, and where's the harm in us using Disney music to show us building a Disney product and enjoying something Disney? There is no harm, really, is there? But they're not going to wade through every video watching for that. So there's nothing stopping me from playing When You Wish Upon a Star over something quite horrific. So all their algorithms doing is picking up, here is an unlicensed use of our music. Disney have got an army of lawyers to make sure that this doesn't happen, so you get a cease and desist. And in YouTube's case, they're not going to mess around, they're just going to pull the video. I have known people, believe it or not, have vacation videos of Disney trips pulled because they'd filmed something for so long that much of the song played, it just got a citation and it got pulled, which is crazy, but I mean, it's happened. I'm sure you could appeal it, but something very interesting with Disney licensing is Disney are about to lose the rights to Steamboat Willie. Now, they're not going to lose the rights to Mickey Mouse. They're going to lose the rights to Steamboat Willie because licensing is a very funny thing. So licensing is not in place to protect the artist. As much as people think it is, it isn't. The point of licensing and copyright usage, copyright usage is not in place to protect the artist. The point of copyright was to encourage creativity. That was the original point of it. So rather than somebody just churning out the exact same thing, the idea being, well, that's done, that belongs to that person, you have to make something else. It was to encourage creativity, which I think it has by and large. Now, you're probably thinking, I've seen a million knockoff Mickey Mouse products. You definitely have. You definitely have. But trust me, Disney stop a lot more of those dodgy products, and they're not really bothered about some company that's making, you know, a couple of grand off a knockoff Mickey. But if they didn't go this way, larger companies would rip them off. But you only have a set amount of time where something is your intellectual property, and then it becomes what's known as public domain. And a lot of Disney characters, music, are about to become public domain. Because Steamboat Willie is nearly 100 years old, believe it or not. We're not far off Mickey Mouse's 100th anniversary, and original copyright law protected you for the life of the creation plus 50 years. So it meant that if you left something to your children, they could also financially benefit from it as well, but you can't live on it forever. That was the idea behind it. So the copyright actually expired on Steamboat Willie years ago, but they kept getting extensions to it, which is kind of unheard of. But Disney made the argument that it was almost like a mascot of the brand rather than a character. But they're not. They're going to lose it. So in 2024, I believe, January 2024, Steamboat Willie becomes public domain. So you can use the music from Steamboat Willie and Disney can't do a goddamn thing about it. You can sell t-shirts with Steamboat Willie on the front of them and they can do nothing about it. Now, Steamboat Willie is not Mickey Mouse, and this is where people are going to become unstuck. It is Mickey Mouse, but there are different versions of Mickey Mouse. So the one that is going to become public domain is the black and white version of Steamboat Willie. Now, there is one glaring difference with him and other iterations of Mickey Mouse, and it's the gloves. Steamboat Willie does not wear the white gloves. He's got he's just all black. There are no white hands to him. He's got the shoes, he's got the shorts, but he doesn't have the white gloves. It's bizarre, but it's true. So if you're thinking, who the bloody hell Steamboat Willie? At the beginning of Disney films for about the past 10 years, there's a little clip of Mickey Mouse whistling, driving a boat. That's Steamboat Willie. So that tune he's whistling is about to come public domain. And Disney can't block it. They've tried, but they can't. Other things have already entered the public domain. Winnie the Pooh is under public domain. So you can use any image you want of Winnie the Pooh from the original books. You can't use Disney's version of Winnie the Pooh, because they do own that. You can't just rip their character off completely. But Winnie the Pooh, they couldn't stop you from making a book or a cartoon or the new adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's public domain. It just couldn't look like theirs. Now, what Disney do is they add something to their characters from existing properties to make it theirs. And this is very clever on their part. So Winnie the Pooh, we all know Winnie the Pooh was the yellow bear in the red sweatshirt. Now, he never wore that sweatshirt. Outside of Disney, he never wore that t-shirt. They do that so you can't replicate it. So they make Winnie the Pooh synonymous with their version of him. So it's like, I think of Winnie the Pooh, I think of the red top. But he never did. If you look at the original illustrations of Winnie the Pooh, he's just a bear. There's no top on him. So that's what they do. And they did this as well with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. If you ask them to name the seven dwarfs, they'll just rattle them off. Sneezy, Dopey, Dark, Bashful. But that's not canon. If you read the book Snow White, they don't have those names. That's a uniquely Disney property. Which is why, and this is, again, anybody that's ever been to a pantomime with their kids has probably seen a version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs where the dwarfs weren't called Sneezy. They were called something else. So like Dopey becomes Dozy, and Sleepy becomes Snoozy, and Grumpy becomes Angry. Because Disney will sue you. If you use the other names, they will cease and desist little town productions of Snow White. It's unbelievable, but it's true. Cheshire Cat's another one as well. The Cheshire Cat, we all think is pink and purple. He was never pink and purple. The Cheshire Cat was a cat. He was just normal cat colour. The Cheshire Cat was a brown Cheshire Cat. He wasn't pink and purple. That's a Disney creation. So if you start, doing something that is public domain, which Alice in Wonderland is, but you start doing images of the Cheshire Cat pink and purple, they'll say, that's ours. And that's how they protect themselves. It's crazy, but it's true. Got nothing to do with the doll's house, but it has, because again, if you are going to start showing, here's my doll's house, and have Let It Go playing in the background, your video is going to get pulled like that. If you're going to do, well, this is my introduction to my video, but you're going to have one When You Wish Upon a Star playing over the top of it, it's going to get pulled. So don't use licensed music in your videos, because they will just get pulled without. It doesn't matter what you do. Even if you see people try and get around it, where they put some in the description where they say, I'm using this as no, it's, you don't have permission to use that license without paying Walt Disney your money to use their song. They are not going to allow you to use their song. So just be careful. Just be careful. Now, I'm planning on putting music into my house. So I've got a plan that when each room lights up, I want to do it on a timer. When each room lights up, the theme song of that film starts to play, so it can run through almost like a diorama, like a museum piece. Now, I'm never going to be able to show you that working, because I can't. Because if I put the video on, it'll get pulled for using their music. I'll put it on. I'll take the citation. You never know, and it might go through. I'll let you know I mean, we're a ways from that yet. But yeah, it's why I'll never be able to show you that fully working. But that is the plan. That's what I'm going to do. So just be careful. If you're making these, just be aware that as cute and cuddly as Walt Disney is, they have got lawyers like you wouldn't believe that are out to just say, you better stop what you're doing now. But unlike them, in a world where we can be anything, we're just going to be kind. And that's it for this episode. We will see you for pack number 9, where we're going to get back to building walls for Mickey's room. If you haven't yet, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.